Okay, this is Steve Mazzone from Ocean State Running, and we are waiting for the start of the Class B boys race. We just had the Class B girls, won by Jessica Deal, and it looks like won by East Greenwich as a team. So here today, it's basically Portsmouth, Sean Gray, and whoever wants to fight for second after that. Sean Gray comes into this with an impressive resume this year, winning at the Shore Coaches Invitational, winning against some top regional talent and really looking impressive throughout the season. So we have teams: Pontiac, Smithfield, Juanita Sanchez, West Warwick, Davies Tech, East Greenwich, Lincoln, North Providence, Portsmouth, Barrington, Johnson, Central Falls, Charahoe Regional, and Mount Hope that are going to be on the line. So they're going to be lining up soon. But again, Sean Gray is the runner who should win this race, actually rather convincingly. Then we have Barrington's Kobe. He's a solid contender to get second place. He's got a PR of 16:25 this year. Jeremiah Moon and Andrew Parisi of East Greenwich. These are other runners we should see up front, as well as Patrick Orban of Portsmouth, so Gray's teammate. He's a sub 17 minute guy, but again, perfect conditions for the race today, so we should see a very strong race by Sean Gray as well as all the other competitors here. So again, we're waiting for the start. Looks like the favorite here is East Greenwich, just like the girls. East Greenwich, they're deep. They have a strong top five here in this race. They're also the defending champions. Barrington too. Barrington could definitely create some havoc up front too, and we could see, you know, a tight battle between those two. But again, we're waiting for the start. Should be anytime soon. So I can hear Keith Lawton giving them the instructions, the head official there. But shortly we should have the start again of the Class B race, the second race of the day. We have 6 varsity races as well as the junior varsity state meet sandwiched in between Class C and Class A today. And the start of the Class B race is now underway. Expect Sean Gray to take control right from the beginning.
Get out, let's go! Of course! Get out, let's go! Let's go, boys!
And there he goes, Sean Gray right there with Colby right behind him and a bunch of East Greenwich runners. So Sean Gray taking control at the start, but a bunch of runners right behind him right now. And most of them wearing an East Greenwich singlet. And it does appear that Sean is holding back here at the beginning stages, because at this point he would usually have a comfortable cushion. So a bunch of East Greenwich and Barrington singlets up there in those front positions mixed up. So again, we think it's going to be a battle between those teams as far as for the team prize at the end. Okay, we're waiting for the runners to approach the mile mark. Again, it looks like Sean Gray out there in front. It looks like he's gonna come close to breaking 5 minutes. He might be just under at the mile mark. It's Jeremiah Moon of East Greenwich, Kobe Napolitonio. Always have difficulty. We have Angel Parisi right there too, right behind Jeremiah Moon. But Again, looks like just over 5 minutes for Sean Gray, our leader. Barrington just bunched 5 runners just now in the top, I'd say top 15, top 20. So they're looking very good. So we're guessing that Sean Gray is going to do some work in the woods. Again, just over 5 minutes at the mile, so he's going at 15:35 pace right now. But let's see how much he does inside the woods. But Barrington looking very strong. East Greenwich had a bunch of runners up there too. So again, just like we predicted, it's going to be between East Greenwich and Barrington. But right now, Barrington looks a little stronger.
Great job, Gabe. Excellent first round. Great job. Come on, Jack. Good first one.
Nice job, Jacob. Get that hill.
Sit, Jack.
Nice shot, Jack.
Go, Tanner.
Great job. Push each other now. Work together. Up that hill.
Perfect conditions here at the Rhode Island Interscholastic League Clash Championships state meet next week. So this is the preview of that meet. We're going to see a lot of strong talent here, a lot of good races, a lot of good team battles. But here we got the Class B race. Sean Gray in control, East Greenwich and Barrington fighting for those for that team prize at the end. Okay, that's Sean Gray out there in front like we expected. He was the leader at the mile mark. We also predicted this would be Sean's race, and he has a significant lead compared to what we saw before he went in the woods.
Yeah, once again, a dominant showing by one of the state's premier long-distance runners committed to Virginia. And, you have to think, Steve, this is kind of a tune-up for him going to next week. And, he came here today. You don't have to necessarily think too much about time. It's about place for his team. And he's definitely asserted himself here as he makes his way down the final stretch here.
And that voice you hear is my former colleague from the Call in the Times newspaper, Brendan McGeer. Brendan, glad to see you here.
Absolutely. A great day here. We got the Class B girls in the books, and we're wrapping up the Class B boys. We're moving right along here. Steve Pontigansett, championship season for cross country is in full swing.
So Sean Gray really had nothing to lose. He didn't really have to go all out in this race. Run, under 16 minutes, but he's capable of breaking 15 minutes on a good day. So this is kind of him coasting.
I always like too that they have the Class B and the state meet, the state course. Like this is almost like the letters. It's almost like they're spring training a little bit in terms of what can they do, how's the course feel, what's maybe get a little bit of a feel of what the competition's going to be like. But there you go, Sean Gray down the final straightaway.
Yeah, and he is really taking it easy coming into that finish. And again, he doesn't have to go all out. He's going to convincing leads. Looks like he just got like 16 minutes. So a big win for Sean Gray. His second straight win here.
We should mention there's still the opportunity for some teams today to qualify for the state meet. The top 3 of each division winner do qualify automatically for the state meet. But in baseball, we talk about wild cards. This is kind of like a wild card day a little bit, and a last chance meet that we typically associate with a track as teams look to make that final push to see if they can qualify for next Saturday's state meet.
Yeah, absolutely. So finishing right behind Sean Gray with his teammate, Patrick Orban. A good race for him. But we have a bunch of East Greenwich finishes coming across. 3 Barrington runners right now. It's going to be a close battle for that team prize at the end.
Yeah, we just saw a slew of Barrington jerseys coming in. I believe that they were the Metropolitan Division regular season champ, so they definitely have the numbers to make some kind of push here.
At Barrington and East Greenwich, they consistently have a good team each and every year.
Deep teams. In terms of numbers.
Yeah, deep teams, absolutely. And that's what it takes in cross country. You can have a few few stars, but if there's a big gap between them, then it can be difficult to win. You'll see Bishop Hendricken later. They're notorious for pack mentality. You'll have 20, 30 seconds in between their 1 and 5, which is extremely tough to beat.
And that's something that you work on over the course of the season. It just doesn't happen, when you go to these out-of-state invitational. That's something that you kind of drill home over the course of the few months as you transition from out-of-state invitationals, your dual meets, into now the bigger meets of the season.
Yeah, and sometimes these races can get difficult for a competitive runner, because sometimes you have to be focused and be able to hold back and make sure that you don't burn out at the end and finish together with your teammates.
Well, and also if you're somebody like Sean Gray, you're kind of racing against yourself a little bit in terms of who is. If you don't see anybody in your zip code, so to speak, you kind of not necessarily coast, because it's almost like you're racing against yourself.
Yeah, like I was saying before, Sean Gray is just having a great season. He really had a great race down in New Jersey at that Shore Coaches Invitational on a very difficult course, running 15:30 and change. I mean, he's proven that he's one of the runners to beat next weekend, which is absolutely going to be an insane race, I think.
I think, Steve, next Saturday's boys race has the potential to be one of the better ones we've seen, maybe, of this century. The century's a quarter of the way through here. I think it has the potential to be one of the better ones that we've seen since the turn of the century.
I mean, we legit could have 3 runners under 15 minutes if these guys, if we have perfect conditions and these guys are on their A game, we could legitimately have that, or at least close.
Yeah, it's kind of like you always want to fast forward the clock to next Saturday and hope that there's good weather for these runners as well. Kind of conditions like today. I think if you did a poll with all the runners today, they would probably say this is ideal conditions.
Yeah, I mean, I see a slight when you see the flag out there. It's moving a little bit, but sometimes you need a little wind, and it doesn't. This is ideal, because these guys are warming up. We may be cold standing, but these guys are warming up once they start running, and this is nothing to them. This is, like you said, this is absolutely ideal. And you got this music blasting over here. That also helps coming down that final straightaway.
Sean Gray was coming in to the Rocky theme.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, that's the song I played every night before my races. It's the Rocky theme song.
As we kind of wind down this Class B race, and we got to set the table now for the Class C as they'll come up here at the top of the hour. And, I believe the Class C girls team, I think BB has the potential to be the most competitive race of the day. A rematch of last year with Julia Gallagher of North Smithfield and Mackenzie Lickard of St. Raphael.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be a very good race. It's going to go all around, but I mean, that in particular is really